Her excuses tumbled out too easily, a tangled web of half-truths that unraveled in a single moment, leaving me to confront a betrayal I never saw coming. It was a rainy Tuesday evening in Portland, Oregon, when the first cracks in my marriage began to show. I had just returned from a long day teaching history at the community college, my briefcase heavy with ungraded papers. My wife, Tara, a sharp and ambitious marketing consultant, was supposed to be at a networking event downtown. At least, that's what she told me that morning. But as I heated up some leftover pasta in the kitchen, her text arrived. "Running late at the gym, babe. I'll grab dinner with the yoga group after." I froze. Gym? Yoga group? She had never mentioned yoga before. And the networking event was meant to run until 9 p.m. My stomach twisted with suspicion, but I forced myself to believe her, at least for the moment. Tara had been acting strangely for months. Secretive phone calls and hushed tones. A new perfume that didn't smell like her. An unexpected dedication to self-care and late nights out. 2 days later, she told me she was meeting her boss for a project review at a nearby cafe, but then called to say she was stuck at the library, researching for a client pitch. The library on a Thursday night? That was the moment I could no longer ignore the gnawing doubt. On a hunch, I drove to the library. Her car wasn't there. My heart pounding, I headed to a nearby boutique hotel she'd once casually mentioned for client meetings. And there she was, in the hotel's dimly lit lobby bar, laughing, her hand resting lightly on a man's arm. A man I didn't recognize, but whose face would be seared into my memory forever. I confronted her there, my voice trembling but resolute. "Tara, the library or the networking event, which is it?" Her eyes widened in panic. Her excuses collided into a frantic, desperate mess. I meant the cafe, but then I came here to meet a friend," she stammered. The man beside her shifted uncomfortably, confirming every nightmare I'd feared. She broke down, the walls crumbling as she admitted to an affair with Ethan, a co-worker she'd been seeing for 6 months. Her alibis were carefully woven lies, meant to juggle 2 lives without getting caught. But the cracks had shown, and she had slipped, exposing everything. The betrayal cut deeper than I ever imagined. That weekend I moved out. I rented a small apartment near the college, desperate for space to breathe, to think, to process the flood of lies and heartbreak. Tara's apologies filled my phone, messages, calls, tears in her voice. But I needed silence, needed distance. I buried myself in teaching, found solace in my students' debates about history, a past I could analyze without the sting of my present. I started journaling, pouring out my anger, my grief, my confusion onto paper. Slowly, painfully, the truth became clearer. The cracks in our marriage I'd ignored. Her restlessness, my complacency, the quiet drift that had pulled us apart. One evening, I wandered along the Willamette River. The city lights shimmered on the water's surface, fractured and trembling like my thoughts. I thought about Tara, the woman I had loved, the life we had built, now shattered by choices she made. I wasn't ready to forgive, not yet. But as the rain began to fall again, gentler this time, I stood there feeling something shift inside me. Bitterness softened, and I realized maybe, just maybe, I was ready to let go.